News a tough beginning on the job.
He was saying, I'm going to hurt you if you don't hurry up and give me the money.
A restaurant worker just starting out gets robbed. Plus, a police brutality lawsuit settled. It's believed to be the largest settlement of its kind in Brooklyn Park history. And later in the show, a Park Center alum experiencing new horizons, how he's playing a role in researching Pluto. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. An out-of-court settlement has been reached between the city of Brooklyn Park and a man who was shot 3 times in the back by a Brooklyn Park police officer.
Shua Yang will receive $2.8 million from the city to settle a police brutality lawsuit. Delane Cleveland joins us now with more. Delane?
Mike and Alex, the $2.8 million settlement is believed to be the largest in the city's history and one of the largest of similar suits statewide. It stems from an incident that happened in January of 2014. I spoke to Shua Yang's attorney by phone this morning.
I do think justice was served in this instance. I don't think any amount of money, though, is worth being shot 3 times by a police officer. My client lost his kidney, fractured part of his back, and nearly died because of this.
According to court documents, Shua Yang was trying to back out of a parking space while his back window was covered with snow. Police were on scene because a fight had broken out at a nearby banquet hall. Court documents say Yang did not see Brooklyn Park officer Jason Chadbourne standing right behind the vehicle. Rather than stepping out of the way, Chadbourne shot into the vehicle, hitting Yang 3 times, once in the back, once in the neck, and once in the shoulder. Yang was charged with first-degree assault, but a jury later acquitted him of any wrongdoing.
The police in Brooklyn Park are really no different than the police in Baltimore or Cincinnati. The difference, I guess, is that the prosecutors in those states or for those cities charge the police officer with crimes when they use unauthorized deadly force on civilians. In other words, when they shoot an innocent person. Here they charge the victim, Shua Yang, who had committed no crime whatsoever.
Yang's attorney says that he is doing much better now. As for Officer Jason Chadbourne, Brooklyn Park released a statement saying that he is on paid administrative leave pending an employment hearing. Mike and Alex?
All right, Delane Cleveland reporting. Thanks a lot. Brooklyn Park police are looking for a masked robber who held up the restaurant Sweet Taste of Italy.
The incident happened around 5:15 on Thursday evening, and reporter Sonia Goins has more on what happened.
And is that for here to go?
Sweet Taste of Italy is open and things are relatively back to normal.
So you wanted a spaghetti with meatless?
On Thursday evening, workers got served something they'd rather soon forget.
And I saw the guy walk in, and he did have a ski mask on, but he was starting to take it off a little bit.
Yusuf was working the cash register when a masked robber demanded money.
He was saying, I'm going to hurt you if you don't hurry up and give me the money.
Yusuf is only 16 years old.
Did you want to receive
This is his first job.
My hands were shaking.
And he's only been on the gig for 2 weeks.
I was shaky. I didn't know what to do. I'd never had really experience with this.
Despite his inexperience, Yusuf remained as calm as he could. He gave the robber the money.
He kind of noticed that I wasn't taking all the money, and so I closed it as fast as I could.
The robber put the money in a tip jar and ran out of the restaurant.
I was so in shock. I couldn't stay on my own 2 feet. I literally, in this area, I had just sat down.
Now, Sweet Taste of Italy has been in Brooklyn Park for at least 14 years. Not only is the community stopping by to show their support, but local businesses are helping out too.
It's a scary situation all around.
Josh Stromberg is a cashier at the nearby mobile gas station.
We gave him $100 to start a new till. We also let the police come and use our cameras to see if they could get an angle of where the man ran away to.
I'll have you sign that.
Meanwhile, Yusuf says he wanted to return back to work.
Thank you.
He says while the robber stole the cash, he can't take away his spirit.
Even though that happened, this job is awesome. The people I work with are awesome, and I couldn't ask for any better job at this age. We'll have that out to you shortly, ma'am.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The robber is described as a dark-skinned male in his late 20s, about 5 feet 6 inches tall. He wore a hoodie with a white T-shirt and blue jeans. And if you have any information, you are asked to call police. Meanwhile, Maple Grove police are investigating a robbery in that city. It occurred about 3:40 this morning, Friday morning, at the McDonald's at Weaver Lake Road and Elm Creek Boulevard. Police say 2 men entered the restaurant and one of them had a gun. They got away with an undisclosed amount of cash. Nobody was hurt.
Get ready for some big traffic snarls when Monday morning's commute rolls around. Starting tonight, Friday evening, and lasting for the next 2 weeks, the eastbound lanes of I-394 will be closed for resurfacing work. All the eastbound 394 traffic will be shifted onto the carpool lanes. The closure stretches from Highway 100 to I-94. A reminder that Plymouth Metrolink is offering express bus service to downtown Minneapolis using Highway 55 because of the construction. A bus leaves every 15 minutes from station number 73.
Several new laws take effect on Saturday. Among them, new limits on how license plate data is stored and collected. Brooklyn Park Police are training with license plate scanners, which will help them find stolen vehicles, cars with stolen plates, or if a driver's license is suspended. The new law limits law enforcement agencies to a period of 60 days to keep license plate data that's not related to an active criminal investigation.
Obviously, for an officer to drive the car and try to run every license plate around the car would be an impossible task. So this license plate recognition system, basically, it's like having 6 or 7 police officers in your car simultaneously running all the license plates on a computer.
The law also allows victims of stalking and domestic violence, or domestic abuse that is, to have the license plate data destroyed immediately. Coming up, no small discovery how a Park Center grad has a role in researching Pluto.
And then a little bit later in sports, the old pros hit the course for the opening round of the 3M Championship golf tournament.
But first, that once in a blue moon moment is now. You can see it if you look up in the night sky tonight.
This summer, the science world has been abuzz about Pluto.
Earlier this month, a spacecraft flew by Pluto, sending back a wealth of information for scientists, including one who grew up in Brooklyn Park. Reporter Shannon Slatton spoke to him today.
3, 2, 1. We have ignition and liftoff of NASA's New Horizons spacecraft.
New Horizons is the fastest spacecraft ever built. It traveled more than 3 billion miles over the last 9 years to reach Pluto. On July 14th, scientists waited to get a phone home from New Horizons.
Copy that. We're in lock with telemetry with the spacecraft.
As mission operations celebrated in Maryland.
So it's this very tense moment because, all of the encounter sequence and sort of much of the mission, centers around that sort of one encounter period.
Dr. Andrew Steffel celebrated from his post in Colorado. We talked to him on Skype about New Horizons.
When you've been working, in my case, I've been working for 10 years on this project, and it's finally, okay, we did it. Finally all that hard work paid off.
Steffel's hard work and interest in science began when he was a kid in Brooklyn Park.
The Voyager spacecraft was flying by the planet Uranus, I think in 1986. And I remember I did a book report on that, and just trying to learn about this new planet. It was so cool because here's this planet that we've only seen, sort of fuzzily in telescopes. It was suddenly a real place.
Now he gets to do that very thing with Pluto.
One of the things we look at is like the atmosphere of Pluto, and that's kind of what it's designed to do, is look at the atmosphere of Pluto, what it's made of, what its structure is.
We're all very proud of him here in Minnesota.
We spoke to one of Steffel's science teachers by phone. John Peterson couldn't be prouder to hear that one of his science students has excelled in his field of study.
It's just fascinating, and then to find out after the fact that Andrew was one of those people involved in making it happen, I'm just beyond amazed. It's terrific.
Learning about the solar system is what Andrew Steffel has always wanted to do. And he says students back home can also chase their passion if they just keep working hard.
When you first start out, it seems like this impossibly far, journey that you have to go on. As just a high schooler, a Park Center, it didn't seem like I'd be able to be working on these, amazing projects. But you kind of take the next step forward, and eventually you get there.
Steffel might have been working on this project for 10 years, but in many ways his job is just beginning. He says it will take 16 months to get all of the data back from the Pluto pass, and then the spacecraft could be headed for more exploration in the Kuiper Belt, which is just beyond the planets. And Mike and Alex, one reason why that process takes so long is if you remember dial-up internet in the 90s, how slow that was. Go back to the 80s. So that's how long it takes to get all of this information.
It's going to take time, but how neat. What a great job for
Very
Andrew.
cool thing.
Thanks a lot, Shannon.
Coming up, epic fishtails on stage at Wayzata Central Middle School.
But first in sports, John Jacobson has action from opening day of the State American Legion Baseball Tournament.
It's a great chance to see golfing legends up close. The 3M Championship Tournament is underway in Blaine. Brooklyn Park's Don Berry teeing off on number 2 Friday. The Edinburgh USA Pro is 2 under par on his first 9. Defending tournament champion Kenny Perry gets his day started on a good note. Slow rolling downhill putt here from about 20 feet for a birdie on number 1. And a good start for Perry as he's in the hunt again. One of the big names in Blaine, 8-time major winner Tom Watson. He was 1 under through his first 15 holes. Minnesota native Tom Lehman rolls home a short putt for par on number 1. Lehman among the leaders at this taping of 12 News. The tournament wraps up Sunday at the TPC. It's time to play ball. The State American Legion Baseball Tournament is underway. Champlin Park taking on Hutchinson in the first round at Chanhassen. Second inning, Champlin Park's Cole Albers rips a shot down the left field line all the way to the fence. Aaron Klepner scores on the play, and it's 1-0 Champlin Park. Bottom of the third, Hutch's Jacob Arlt hits a fly ball to right. It's caught, but the throw home well over catcher Derek Smith's head. Cody Arlt scores. Hutchinson takes a 2-1 lead after 3. Same score in the 5th, and good defense here by the Rebels. It's a short to first double play, helping end the Hutchinson threat. But Champlin Park never gets the key hits they need, and Hutch breaks through in the 7th. Josiah Van de Steeg doubles to left to score Jacob Arlt, and it's 6-1 through 7. Champlin Park gets one more run in the 9th, but it's not enough as Hutchinson wins this game by a final score of 6-2. Maple Grove faced a strong Tri-City Red team in the opening round. This one at Edina, and it got ugly fast. Bottom of the first, Ryan Nichols' base hit scores Ben Mazinga for a 1-0 Tri-City Red lead. Then Alec Abercrombie's hit through the hole, plates Nickel, and it's 2-0. Top of the third, Maple Grove gets 2 runners on, but a diving stop at third by Bo Lovedahl. He tags the base. Nice play. It ends the inning. Bottom of the third, Maple Grove gives up 5 runs thanks to a series of errors and miscues, and Tri-City Red rolls to a 26-2 win in 7 innings. Wayzata is the 3rd local team in the tournament. Play in the double elimination tourney continues through Sunday. A Wood Bat Little League tournament in Robbinsdale is again raising money for baseball in Benin. Benin is a tiny country in West Africa that was introduced to baseball after a local Robbinsdale man went there on a mission trip. The tournament is in Robbinsdale, charges teams an entry fee, and also raises money through concession sales and donations. Currently, that money is being used to send equipment to ball players in Benin. But now organizers are thinking bigger and hoping to bring a team from Benin to Robbinsdale to play in a future Wood Bat tournament.
We're just getting off the ground. You know, it's going to be very expensive. We're looking to get people to sponsor a particular player to come over. You know, we got to bring 12 players and probably 3 adults over. So 15 people, probably 2,500 to 3,000 a person. It's a long road, but we're hopeful.
There are now about 120 kids playing baseball in Benin, and the ultimate goal is to build a baseball field there.
Our first project is to locate, and has been to locate, a piece of property. We've had some inquiries about doing it on some government land, whether it be school property or parkland. That's kind of gone nowhere, so we're looking into buying a plot of land.
The Wood Bat tournament in Robbinsdale wraps up with championship games on Sunday. In a big preview, boys basketball tournament in Maple Grove, 3 of the top 4 teams in the Class 4A bracket were from the northwest suburbs. Maple Grove facing Eden Prairie in the championship game. Brad Davison dominates play early, drives past the defense, finishes with the left hand, and the Crimson take an early 17-2 lead. Great pick and roll here as Tawan Pickford finds Reed Nico, powers it up inside for 2, and an 11-point Maple Grove lead. Davison leads the break, delivers a nice pass to Pickford for the layup. Maple Grove leads 37-27 at the half. Second half, and they execute well again. Davison to Coyote Awashika for 2 inside. Maple Grove pushes the lead back to 16. Pickford swings it to Jack Hutchinson, who fakes the shot and drives for 2 as Maple Grove wins 70-50. Wayzata edged Champlin Park in 2 overtimes in the 3rd place game. High school season still 4 months away, but look for those teams to be in the hunt again next school year.
I always like to see basketball.
Yeah,
all right.
right.
Thanks, John. Still ahead, epic stories that may turn out to be big fish tales.
We search for the truth on stage when we come back.
If you are a fisherman, you've probably dreamed about catching the big one.
This weekend, you can catch big fish in Plymouth without even getting in a boat. Neil Persley explains in Weekend Showcase.
12 years ago, Tim Burton directed the movie Big Fish. 2 years ago, it was adapted for stage. This is a moving story about a father-son relationship. The story is told both through 60-year-old Edward Bloom and his fantastic tales, and through his adult son, who is preparing to become a young father himself.
It's sort of supposed to resemble kind of a mythology, a journey, everything. It's got shades of everything from the Odyssey to Hercules to different parts of fairy tales like Hans Christian Andersen.
Luke Susi plays the father.
I play kind of two different facets of Edward Bloom. I have a younger version where he's a traveling salesman and he loves his son very much, but the simple fact of the matter is he can't be home very much. And when he is home, he tells all these crazy stories.
As Will grows up, he begins to doubt the honesty of his father's tales. The two don't have a close relationship.
It's a bittersweet ending because Edward has cancer and he has to pass away.
The story shifts back and forth between flashbacks of Will's childhood, his father's tales, and the present reality.
Will learns how to be a father, and he learns that his father wasn't as devious as he might have thought. He's actually kind of a really nice guy.
In the end, Will discovers his father through his stories and finds the love and appreciation for him that he never had before.
It's a very touching story. It's a very meaningful story, and I think it'll speak to a lot of people in a lot of different ages.
Watching the rehearsal, it was clear that the gravity of the story has had an impact on the actors.
It's something that I think has touched all of them. It's been clear by their reactions that they feel that way, and I think they're very excited to show it to an audience.
For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
Big Fish takes place at Wayzata Central Middle School in Plymouth tonight at 7 and Saturday at 4 p.m. Well, finally, one of our beloved colleagues is going to the lake.
In Detroit Lakes, that is. Our receptionist extraordinaire, Nancy Livingood, is retiring, and today is her last day. If you've visited our building, you've likely seen her behind the scenes here at Channel 12. Nancy runs the teleprompter for the news department, and she's been with us for 10 years. Also, she's an extraordinary cook. She caters all of our work functions here. And Nancy, we are going to miss you, but we want to wish you all the best and say thank you.
Happy retirement,
That's
Nancy.
right. Enjoy.
We will miss you. Yeah.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a great weekend, everyone.